Benjamin Netanyahu's starvation of Gaza plan is in full effect, intentionally blocking international food aid, watching 2 million Palestinians starve to death. That's the goal. This is a war crime by all accounts. Even if you're like fully in the tank for Israel and you don't think Israel could ever do anything wrong, they walk on water, whatever it is, this is a war crime. By any definition, this is a war crime. This is the stuff of demons. And yes, Benjamin Netanyahu is a demon. That's no longer up for debate. Even the Trump administration officials are saying this behind closed doors. Very interesting.
Starving a population, especially one under military occupation, is a grave violation of international law. So why it's illegal? 1. Why starving a population under occupation is illegal? International law. Starving civilians as a method of warfare is explicitly prohibited under international humanitarian law. A. Geneva Convention 4, 1949. Article 55. The occupying power has the duty of ensuring the food and medical supplies of the population. Protocol 1, 1977, to the Geneva Conventions. Article 54. Starvation of civilians as a method of warfare is prohibited. B. Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, ICC, Article 8.2b ABECFU, intentionally using starvation of civilians as a method of warfare by depriving them of objects indispensable to their survival is a war crime. These laws exist to protect civilians from being used as pawns or targets in military conflicts, especially in situations of occupation. 2. What Israel is accused of doing in Gaza accusations, especially since October 2023 war, cutting off water, electricity, and fuel to the Gaza Strip. Blocking or severely limiting humanitarian aid, including food and medical supplies, statements from Israeli officials suggesting an intent to collectively punish the population.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
Such statements have drawn international condemnation, including from the UN, Red Cross, World Food Program, and numerous human rights groups like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch. The UN warned that famine was imminent in Gaza if restrictions weren't lifted, especially in the northern areas. 3. Could Netanyahu be judged like Hitler? While Benjamin Netanyahu is not comparable to Adolf Hitler in terms of scale, he still faced charges for war crimes under international law. The ICC is already investigating possible war crimes in the Palestinian territories, including disproportionate use of forced collective punishment, targeting civilian infrastructure, denial of humanitarian aid. South Africa has filed a genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice, ICJ, and several countries have supported this. If found guilty for systematic starvation, forced displacement, or indiscriminate attacks, Netanyahu could be indicted by the ICC. Historically, Netanyahu is increasingly being remembered as a leader who oversaw severe human rights violations, especially as the occupation and blockade policies come under scrutiny for deliberately harming civilians. While his actions may not be equivalent to Hitler's in scale, the potential legacy of war crimes casts a deep and lasting stain, not only on Israeli leadership, but also on the Israeli public who endorsed or enabled such policies at the ballot box. No matter how many Eurovision Song Contests Israel participates in, and no matter how forcefully the Zionist lobby attempts to shape or silence global media narratives, the truth of the humanitarian catastrophe and the suffering of the Palestinian people cannot be buried. The world is watching, and history will remember.